These are 7 of the books that I'm most looking forward to reading. It's going to take me a little while to finish them, and especially this middle one here, it's going to be quite a project. But the gravitational pull coming from these books, I'm feeling it really strongly. Start with book number 1, and we've got Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. Now, I've been watching his YouTube channel for years and years now. I've learned a tremendous amount from him. The things that I picked up from his YouTube channel, like I've immediately applied them, and my life has gotten better. My business has grown. I've made more money. I've had more time. All that stuff. So basically, to have the concentrated wisdom all in one book, which is my preferred medium of learning, I'm really looking forward to this one. This next one is kind of a surprise pick, actually. I just heard about this guy this year, and his name's John Brink. His book is called Living Young, Dying Old, and he is just impressive across the board for a variety of reasons to hook your attention right away. Like, he's an 84-year-old, like, competitive bodybuilder. Like, not just, like, doesn't still work out, at 84 years old, which would be impressive itself. Like, that's phenomenal. But he actually competes in bodybuilding at 84 years old. And if he's not the oldest competitive bodybuilder in Canada, he's absolutely one of them. So this book's all about longevity, not giving in to old age before you absolutely have to. Genetics, obviously a factor, all of these things. Like, there are reasons why some people age faster than others. Too many people give up like way sooner than they have to. This book is just like a revolt against that. Next one is another fitness book. We've got Stronger Than Yesterday by Michael Matthews. And the first book I read by him last year was called The Little Black Book of Workout Motivation. And what I always say about that book is that if you took like the best parts of Jordan Peterson and had him write a fitness book, you'd wind up with kind of the same thing as The Little Black Book of Workout Motivation. I was just extremely impressed with it. I took tons of great notes. I even wrote a complete breakdown of the book that you can actually just read for free. I'll put the link down in the video description here. And this is Michael's follow-up book. It's Stronger Than Yesterday, 169 Insights for Transforming Your Body, Mind, and Motivation. So when this came out, like when I saw it was on pre-order, like I immediately was all on top of it. And it's just a fantastic book. I've kind of flipped through it a little bit, and it's just decision confirmed. Like, this is phenomenal. And speaking of decision making, so this guy's first book was called Principles, and it's one of the best decision making books I've ever read. His name's Ray Dalio. He's the billionaire hedge fund manager who founded Bridgewater Associates, and they had something like $15 billion in assets under management. He kind of stepped down recently from the founder, like the head role, but he's still involved. He's still like active on social media, teaching and researching. So this book is Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order. This is the one that's going to take a tremendous amount of time and focus to kind of get through. This is not like a weekend beach read at all. It's extensively researched. I mean, it's got charts and graphs. Like, that's how you know he's serious about this stuff. He basically commissioned like an entire research staff team, like giant project, to go back hundreds and thousands of years into human history, look for patterns and the patterns that repeat and the cycles that come back and how they interact with other patterns and other cycles, and how they might extrapolate into the future, and guide investment decisions. And he looks at macroeconomics and just history, psychology, political science, like all of these like different factors that it's just like, man, like it's such a comprehensive book. And I started it actually a little while ago, and it kind of, like, I was reading too many books at the same time, and whenever I kind of went back to this one, I found myself kind of lost. So I'm gonna finish a few of the books that I have on the go right now before I even start this one, because it really demands like much more intense focus. But I think just what I learned from this is going to be just like, there's so many missing puzzle pieces that are going to be filled in by reading this book. So I can't even wait. Then this next book is an advanced copy from my friend Jonathan Goodman, and it's called The Obvious Choice. And so Jonathan, he used to be a personal trainer, and now he coaches personal trainers to make more money in their business. And so he's got like 200,000 clients all over the world. And so The Obvious Choice is timeless lessons on success, profit, and finding your way. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And he was actually in my hometown a little while ago, and I just noticed on Instagram that he was going to be here, and I just shot him a message. And I'm like, hey, you want to like hang out for coffee or whatever? And yeah, so we set it up. We went for like a nice walk, and talked about books and working out and business. And like he is a sharp guy, sharp individual. And his book, I haven't started it yet. I'm not even on page 1, but this is one of the ones I'm most looking forward to. I think what it's going to do for my business, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fantastic. Second to last book, we've got Iron Ambition by Mike Tyson. I watched the Mike Tyson fight last night, and I was so I don't know, not like sad. Maybe sad's the word for it. Like not depressed, but I was I gutted basically at what happened. But I'm not totally surprised either. I mean, he was 58 years old fighting somebody who's 28 or 27. So like obviously him losing is not like the upset of the century, but I have this idea in my mind of who Mike Tyson is. Like I remember him from like the 90s and just knocking people out. Like he won his first 19 fights by knockout in 12 of them in the first round, and he was like the youngest heavyweight champion. There was a story that I read on Twitter the other day. I'd forgotten about it. He was in the zoo, not in the zoo like cage, but like he was at the zoo, and so he noticed like he was walking by like the chimp cages, and he noticed that one of the chimps was bullying some of the others, and he offered the zookeeper $10,000 to open the cage so he can like beat up the bully chimp. And, I mean, he probably would have lost that one too, but, it's just like that Mike Tyson, the one who would, like, willingly go into, like, a chimp enclosure and just fuck shit up, that was definitely not the Mike Tyson we saw last night, and I wanted to see it. Like, there was part of me that was like, I thought that there was some of that left in there, and I didn't see too much. I saw, maybe a little bit in the first round, some flashes of, 1990s, baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson, but it really didn't last. And anyway, I'm kind of upset about that still. But yeah, Iron Ambition is the book that I'm looking forward to. And actually, I just bought his first book too, which I might read first. It's called Undisputed Truth. And so yeah, that one's more of like an autobiography memoir. And this is about his life with D'Amato. And he's man, D'Amato was like an interesting guy too. And it's really really good. There's actually another book that and I'll leave links down in the video just keep here. But there's a book by Brett McKay. It's called The Warrior Monk Philosophy of Trainer D'Amato, and it's about their training relationship. And it's super short. It's like 50 pages or something like that. But if you're interested in Mike Tyson and just how he became Mike Tyson, D'Amato has like a big part of that. And that book is really short, like really like to the point, but it goes into some like really fascinating stuff. And so yeah, Mike Tyson. Then the last one is like the furthest possible thing from Mike Tyson. It's Middlemarch by George Eliot, real name Mary Evans, who is actually one of the most like brilliant, women or like just brilliant people that I know of. And she is like super famous 19th century novelist and just smart as hell. Like she translated Hegel from German into English. So like Hegel, like the most complicated, least understandable philosopher ever. She read Hegel, understood him in German, and then translated that understanding into English. And it's just ridiculous how smart this woman is. To be able to do that is just unreal. And this is one of her most famous books, and probably the most famous book. Whenever I think of George Eliot, I think of Middlemarch, and it actually has one of my favorite lines in all of literature. And it goes something like this. She asks, "What are we here for, if not to make life a little less difficult for one another?" I think that's a wonderful sentiment, and I knew it was from this book, but I'd never read it before, and it's been burning a hole on my bookshelf for a long, long time, and I'm finally going to get around to it right after I finished Don Quixote, which I've been reading for months, and I haven't been able to finish that either. But right now, I have one simple piece of advice for you if you want to read at least 30 more books every single year. 30 more books, one simple piece of advice. It's in this video right here. It only takes 5 minutes to watch, and you can read 30 more books every single year just by applying that one little simple piece of advice in that video. But thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. And always remember, marks for quitters.
I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating. Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable.